26-6, the final score in the men's game, as you can see there. Ronaldo Mulatalo, he got a try on his Kiwis debut. Isaiah Papali'i finished it off there, Sammy. The Kiwis went into this one favourites, and Michael Maguire, in a sense, looking to the future. New look halves combination with Jerome Hughes and Dylan Brown. Did you like what you saw from those two?
This is the best Kiwi team I've seen for a little while, and there's a huge Melbourne contingent in this team as well. But that halves pairing is absolutely amazing. And then you throw Joey Manu at the back, ran for over 300 metres. He's an absolute freak. He would probably play fullback for the Roosters, but you got the best fullback in the world playing there, James Tedesco, at the moment. But yeah, the Kiwis were absolutely brilliant in this one, and it actually makes me excited for the end of the year to see a great, strong Kiwis team going into this World Cup, because if the Kiwis are strong, it actually makes the World Cup a lot better.
Do you think it's one of those things where in any other side, where be Joey Manu, if you don't have James Tedesco there, any other NRL club, he's a shoo-in at number one, surely.
Talking about Manu as either a fullback or a six for so long. Well, was it 404 metres, the most by any fullback, surpassing the record by Clint Gutherson for Parramatta in a club match a couple of years ago. He was unbelievable. Jesse Bromwich said afterwards that that's the best performance he's seen from a fullback during his, or one of the best performances he's seen from a fullback during his career, and he's played with a few decent fullbacks in his time, Jesse, so it's a fair rap. But no, Joey Manu was pretty much unstoppable.
And again, we talk about Joey was absolutely fantastic, but we've seen a couple of clips there of James Fisher-Harris as well. And what he actually enables them to do, he sets that platform for them where Joey Manu can then sniff around, and he's so strong. He will pull through tackles when they come his way. He was enormous for the Kiwis, and you know, well, anytime he puts a jersey on, he's always going to throw his best out there. But especially with a Kiwi jersey on, he was close to unstoppable himself last night.
Well, he's the new JWH for the Kiwis. Again, with the hyphenated last name. Might, it might be just a thing, but I kind of feel sorry for any of those other Penrith Panthers players out there that didn't play football this weekend, because they featured in every game, which is, absolutely amazing, and it shows how good Penrith are going this year. But Kiwis just way too strong. I kind of feel a little bit for Tonga. They will be better. It's been a while since they've played some international football, but they'll build and get better. I think we've seen them really grow and develop over the last few years because they've played some consistent football. Just not being able to play for a while kind of hurt Tonga a little bit. But I will say the Tongan crowd showed up. The first game back.
They got louder. They got louder. The more they got behind on the scoreboard, the louder they got.
Yeah, and I would love every NRL club out there and their fans to see these Tongan fans, and that's how you should be a fan for your team. Win, lose or draw, you show up and you cheer loud and proud.
Sammy, do you think that I thought that's, as you said, that's the strongest New Zealand team that they fielded for a long time. I reckon that team is almost strong enough to be seriously pushing Australia at the World Cup. It should be.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why I said I was excited about this New Zealand team, because if New Zealand are good, it makes Australia better. It makes England better. It makes all these other top-tier nations want to play better if New Zealand are playing good. So love this halves combination. I'd love to see it going forward. Again, off the back of the big boys, through the middle of the field, that Melbourne Storm contingent. They'll really shake things up at the World Cup this year for sure.
You touched on the fact that the Tongan crowd really got into it, but I think it was emotional all round over there, because it was the first game of rugby league we've had at Mount Smart Stadium in almost 3 years, and we know just how much they live and breathe rugby league over there. So you could almost feel watching. We were sitting here yesterday, we had goosebumps just seeing the energy, the emotion with the haka, the crowd. It's almost hard to put into words.
It was fantastic to see, and you know what else as well? It was the second game because the women played before them, and they had a record crowd to watch a women's international game because everybody wanted to get behind the footy. They wanted to get to live footy, cheer for their team. And I actually went to this game a couple of years ago when it was here, and it looked exactly the same. 98% Mate Ma'a Tonga supporters, 2% Kiwi supporters, and it was an atmosphere. I don't think we got out of the field for about 3 hours afterwards. It was bonkers.
I almost reckon that every NRL team should take a trial match over to New Zealand at the start of next season, just to repay New Zealand for all their effort. The Warriors have been based in Australia for the last couple of years, so why not? Let's all get on a junket and go for a trip to New Zealand.
Are you just trying to get a junket?
Anyone? You want in?
Ulterior motive.
We all going?
I'm down for it.
Yeah.
We're in it. We're in.
I like junkets.
Yeah.
What about the best crowd you've ever played in front of, Sammy?
I would have loved to have played in front of a crowd like that. You know, I've been very lucky and fortunate to run out at Suncorp Stadium for State of Origin matches. Playing the World Cup at Old Trafford was absolutely amazing feeling, running out on that stadium, the history that's there. Yeah, never run out in front of a crowd like that. And, you know, I hope at some point in time throughout my commentary career that I get to be a part of that, maybe sitting on a sideline, because you still get the same goosebumps.
Well, I will say I got to do the sideline for the Australia-Tonga match when Tonga won.
Oh, yes.
I interviewed Connie Hurrell after the game. You couldn't hear it. We were this far away. You could not hear each other because the crowd were going wild. It was the most incredible and out-of-body experience I've ever had, because it was just sensory deprivation because of how loud it was. It was amazing.
Incredible. International Rugby League, as we said, it's in a very, very good spot there.